Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Time of My Life. I'm Deandra, and this is the channel all about intentional and abundant living. And today I just wanted to come and sit with you a little bit to talk about hobbies. Hobbies is something that has truly enriched my life, and I thought, why not share this goodness with others? And so if you see me looking down, I just jotted a few things just to stay grounded and not rabble, run on, yap too much, all right? And so if your life feels like the same routine every day, you're waking up, your whole day is kind of situated around work, you're sitting in the traffic, dealing with the morning commute. Your commute may be long, your whole life is just scheduled around the responsibilities of life. You don't necessarily need an escape. You just need to add to your life. And so I'm going to share with you how you can do that through hobbies. And so the simplest way you can do this is by getting yourself involved in a hobby. And I just want to just stop and pause right there, because you remember when we were children and we just had that curiosity and that wonder. Like, I think we have to get back to that as adults. Like, sometimes life just becomes so overwhelming. There is so much to do. I saw this thing on TikTok that talked about there was this young lady, and she was ranting, and she was saying water, gym, and she was just listing all of the things that we have to do just to exist. And she just was listing them off, and the video had to run for about a minute. There's so much. Like, when did life become so much? Like, just to keep on top of things, I mean, it could lead to burnout. And so we need those things, honestly, to be able to just enjoy, have those pockets of joy that we can look forward to that is truly our own. And so, remember I told you I didn't want to babble. So these are about 10 hobbies that you can try that can truly enrich your life. And some of them are actually mine. So let's start with number 1, reading. Reading expands your mind, and it allows you to learn, grow, and see things from a different perspective. I have joined a book club this year, Chante's book club. I'll tag the information below for those of you who may be looking for a virtual book club. It's all women, and it has truly enriched my life in so many ways. I'm reading fiction for the first time in years, and it's just such a beautiful experience. I am now an avid reader. I wake up in the morning and I read. Every chance I get, I have a book in my bag. I've even gotten into Kindle books, which I used to hate before, and it has truly enriched my life. So reading is one of the hobbies that I would recommend to anybody, and anyone can do it, because you just have to find the things that you're interested in. So that's one. Reading is an excellent hobby. And then there's journaling. I think I wouldn't say that reading is a prerequisite for journaling, but you kind of just want to journal after you read. After you create the habit of reading, I think journaling just comes natural. And, there's different types of journaling, and I may go through a video with that, like just giving tips on how to journal. But journaling helps you process your thoughts, and it's like having a conversation with yourself. So it is an impeccable hobby, and it has truly enriched my life. And so if you're a person that is looking for a hobby, journaling would definitely be one that you may enjoy. And then gardening. Gardening is one of the most recent hobbies that I've done, right? Speaking of such, my beautiful coconut tree that is in the back of me was planted, I want to say between 7 to 9 years ago. And just look at it. I mean, it's so therapeutic, right? It's so therapeutic to garden, because it teaches you patience, and there's something powerful about watching something grow because you planted it. And I live in the nursery now. Every chance I get, I'm going to the plant nursery to pick up, a new plant. It's just such a beautiful experience. We recently started to harvest our green peppers. And it's such a satisfying experience. I think this is one of the most gratifying of all of my hobbies. And so if you want to garden, start with something small that doesn't take that long to grow, maybe herbs. I know we started to plant mint late January, and now we can make mint tea. Yeah, we're in April, just came into April, and so what? That's about maybe 8 weeks, and we're able to harvest from our mint plant. So gardening is definitely such a fulfilling hobby to have. And then exercise, and exercise is just not limited to going to the gym. Some people think that, I can't afford a gym membership right now, or I'm not able to have the time to go into the gym. But guess what? You can dance. You can just turn on some music and just get moving and dance. There are countless videos on YouTube if you want to do like a Zumba, or, even Pilates. Pilates is the in thing now. So, those are hobbies that you can definitely go for, because movement improves your mood, your energy, and your overall health. And then one of my favorites that I've been working on for the past 4 months, self-taught candle artisan. I absolutely love candle making. Absolutely love it. It's been such a beautiful, fulfilling, therapeutic experience. So calming. All right. So candle making allows you to create something with your hands. Okay. And it allows you to produce something beautiful. And I can't tell you enough, even with like playing around with the different scents and the different vessels. Like, for example, I started out at first like doing everything, right? Doing the 3-wick candle, doing the 4-ounce candle. And I mean, it was just, it was just a journey, because at first, I followed the instructions, did whatever, but I had to learn along the way. And so every month I kind of add to my skill set. So for example, every month I would say, okay, well, let me try this vessel, or let me try this scent. Oh, let me try this wick. So I've gone from wooden wicks to cotton wicks to eco wicks, and it just, keeps revolving. And I am one of those persons that believe that you get better with time. I believe that you learn from doing. So, I just read and I research, and I've seen the improvements, with my hobby just from practicing. So that's a nugget there as well. When you start a hobby, don't think that you have to have everything like so perfect. Just start it, let it be your outlet, because you never know. You never know. And I want to say too, hobbies are just not, it's not like a thing that you have to do, like to say, make money. I mean, I believe that there are just some things that you do just for fun. That childlike nature. Remember when we were younger and we would go on the outdoors, and this is for my millennials, by the way. Did I tell my age just now? Yeah, remember when we were in the outdoors and we would play and we would wander and we would discover, like, we felt so free, we felt so fulfilled, we felt like we were living, and we lost time in those hobbies, those things that we did that just filled us up. And so I believe to have sanity in this life, to have peace, to have joy, to really move throughout this life with fulfillment, we need hobbies, man. We need hobbies. It cannot be work, pay bills, and then die. We cannot live life like that. And our bodies tell us it. Our minds tell us it. Like, I need something to do. I need an outlet. Our bodies, our minds tell us this. And so when it comes time for you to listen, I hope this video encourages you to take a look at least one of these hobbies. And then you may have your own that you could share in the comments below, or, maybe research ones that resonates with you, that makes your heart sing. All right. And so, yeah, candle making, excellent hobby, love it. Just looking at my candles and what I make afterwards, after they would have cured, and not even after they've cured, the process of doing that is just a remarkable, remarkable experience. You know, mixing the scents, letting the wax cool, getting the right temperature. But I'm not going to get, you know, technical, because candle making, there's definitely a science to it. But it's a beautiful journey, and every time I do it, it gets better, and it's so gratifying, so satisfying, and so therapeutic. So I probably do another video if you're interested in learning how to do that on your own. So you can let me know in the comments. And then learning a new language is also a hobby. I don't know much about, you know, other languages. I know other than the Spanish that I would have learned in school, but I'm very much interested in that, you know, learning new words. And so if that is something that you're interested in, there are, I wouldn't say millions, but many videos on YouTube that can assist you with that hobby. And this opens your mind to new cultures and increases your ability to connect with the world. Painting is also another hobby that just allows you to express emotions without words. It's freeing. Art is freeing on the whole. And so for me, when I paint, I just cut on a playlist, and whatever I want to paint, I just do that. Again, you have to just express yourself. I use acrylic paint on painting paper, and all of these things I purchased from Amazon. And I curate my environment. So I have my paintbrushes, my painting paper. I don't use the canvas because I think like the paper you get more bang for your buck, because it's like if you want to, you know, maybe just do a little doodle and leave it, you know. When you have a canvas, I just think it's just a waste, you know, in my opinion. So I use the papers, and then I leave them to dry. And if I want to go back and add to it, I can. And I use the acrylic paint. I just prefer acrylic paint more, because you could like add to things, let it dry and add to things. It's better to work with, for me, than watercolors. And so painting is definitely one of the hobbies that allows me to just sit with my playlist on and just express, you know. And painting used to be tricky for me, because it's like, okay, like what's the first step? Sometimes I use things from inspiration, like I may Google like, okay, beginners painting, something relatively simple, like maybe let's just say a fruit bowl, just putting it out there. And that's just a matter of, you know, simple little curves and strokes and all like that, and then adding the color in. So don't let painting be intimidating for you. I know when you think about hobbies, we're like, yeah, but I need all kind of stuff, or I need to do this and I need to do that. And it's a lot of preparation. It is some preparation, but you don't have to do all of these hobbies, right? You can pick one, you know, if you plan, you know, you will curate your environment to be conducive to your hobby. All right. So if you know that, all right, I want to paint, then of course, you know, you have to get your paint brushes, your paint, whatever type of paint it is that you want to use. And then you need something to paint on. So that's where the papers come in. And you can always Google something that you're inspired by, or you may just want to look at something, you know, maybe you want to go on the beach and just paint what you see. You know, it's yours. It's not for anything graded. You don't even have to share it. But this is what hobbies are. This is what hobbies are. They're things that light you up. It's not for anyone. So painting is definitely another hobby. And then there's cooking and baking. You know, and we live in a world now where you could do practically anything self-taught. You know, whatever you're into, just, you know, chat GBT a recipe that you always wanted to try, or something that you always wanted to do. Same thing with cooking. Maybe you want to do healthy cooking, and you're able to just plug that in ChatGPT or Google, you know, get a recipe and go for it. You know, all of these things are creation, and it helps to keep your mind well, keep your mood well. It enriches your life. All right. And then there is also pottery that it's my aspiration to be able to do a pottery class. And pottery grounds you. It requires focus, patience, and presence. And of course, after you do it and you perfect it, you get these beautiful pieces. And so that is also a hobby that is just incredible. And I'm smiling as I'm talking about these things because I just know that these are things that just makes life beautiful, something to look forward to, something that is yours that you create with these hands. We're busy doing everything for everybody else. We have to get to the point sometimes where there are things just for us. So pottery is definitely another hobby. And also, last but not least, playing an instrument. Music stimulates your brain, improves memory, and gives you a skill you can carry for life. And music has always been a part of me. And so it's definitely one of those hobbies that I also aspire to do. Maybe it will be playing the piano, who knows? But I love music. Everything about music and its expression, the different genres of music, I love. And so if you want to find a hobby, learn how to play as simple as the recorder. Remember we played those back in school? So that's a hobby that you can pick up if that is your interest. So what all these hobbies have in common is this: they help you to slow down. Learn something new, and reconnect with yourself. Not everything in your life should be like pressure or responsibility. You deserve moments of creativity, peace, and growth. So instead of saying, I don't have the time, you want to just start with just a few minutes a day. And if I could say any of these to start with, I would say go with reading. It's an affordable luxury. All right, so find something that you're interested in, something nonfiction. And if you want a list of books to start with, I'm a book lover, so I definitely can give you those recommendations if you ask down in the comments. And so just start with a few minutes a day. Any of these hobbies, just take 10 minutes a day and say, okay, I want to either research on that hobby, I want to practice that hobby. Because the life you want may not come from doing more work, but from doing more of what brings you joy. And so I just encourage you to try a new hobby. Hobby makes life beautiful, and it just adds so much value to your life. And so I hope this little video helped you. I hope it inspires you. I hope it empowered you and educated you. And I look forward to more conversations like this. So if you have a hobby that you've always wanted to do, or one that you started that enriched your life, drop it down in the comments. Let's have a conversation about it. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.